day 34 and I just came back from the doctor. So I have to tell you what is happening and how we're gonna fix this, because no, not everything is just carnivore. It's just allergic reactions or histamine or other things that are happening according to one specific kind of foods or different kind of foods. So don't give up. I am the best example of somebody who had so much troubles on carnivore like never before and in my life. So I'm still going to go there and do this, and because I just know it. I know it, and that's why I'm so committed for every problem to find the solution and not to give up. That's not who I am. And I'm so sure and I'm so convinced that this is the right thing for me to do, even if I'm having major issues. And we are not talking about keto flu and these little problems. We are talking about I almost ended up in a hospital because I couldn't breathe, and I'm still having troubles with breathing, but it's going okay now because I do have a asthma spray, like an allergy spray, you know. So I'm gonna address now what's happened and how I got to this point. I told you in previous videos, you can watch a few videos ago. So what happened, it's 7, 8, now it's day 8, where I started having major symptoms. And I was thinking I was sick, I was having an infection. That was the first thing, but I didn't. So it started when actually a friend of mine made some bolognese for my family, and I had something else. And then they said, oh yeah, but that's so good. And he said, yeah, it's because you are grinding, or how do you say that when you put the meat into this thing? He's doing it 3 times, not only 1 time. That's the moment when the troubles started, it seems, because I still had little allergic histamine, symptoms and things happening, with my stomach and these kind of things with various kind of foods, but never like a major bam or something like this. So what did happen is that my ground beef, I started to do the same thing like he did, in this thing 3 times. And then I started having different kind of meats from the butcher, which are, fresh and great and expensive and, all these kind of things as well. So I thought I'm doing something good for my body. But instead, what I did was hurting my body. And because all these kind of meats that I was eating and consuming were longer aged, one thing that it has a more histamine. The 3 times going through this thing creates more histamine, and also the meat that was being outside and so on is creating more of these bacteria that my body cannot handle. So everything, when it started, when I went to the farmer's market and I had this video uploaded, like I have it now, I found now my way, it's so great. And then the problem started adding up. So I was confused what is happening. And today when I realized what was wrong, I then realized that my problem started with going to various local butchers, because I didn't go on time when they were just, having the meat out. So they do have it longer outside, and that kind of made the problem. But the major problem for me is I was just starting to eat ground beef because it was the only thing that I liked actually then in the end and really could enjoy. And it was this kind of meat that was full with histamine, it seems. So it's just, heavy. And I do have reactions to eggs. I do have reactions to butter as well, because of, it seems like my autoimmune disease also is having major problems, because my gut is not healed and I still have problems. But now I added in a very concentrated part, my dog, a concentrated part, added too much food that I cannot absorb, that I cannot handle. And that is the problem for me on carnivore. If you have the solution, eat more butter, eat more fatty meat, eat this and that. That's the problem for me, because that was causing all of my problems. So that's interesting, and that's just mind-blowing. And I think that's something, if you cannot figure out, and you did everything Dr. Barry and all these amazing people said, and you're still having so much trouble on carnivore, you have to just quit everything that you're doing right now and figure out what's the problem, because it's not due to carnivore, it's sometimes just some specific foods. And one thing or two things I'm now gonna do. One thing is, they say eat very young meat, like you know, these lamb chops. I did bought them, so I tried to buy now, and I'm gonna show you everything I bought. It's for 80 euros, and it's so much meat, and I hope it's tasty, because there are different kind of brands, and I didn't go to the butcher because I wanted to have those pre-packed things from our grocery store, because I didn't have any reaction to actually this thing. It's just a fillet steak from the beef, and I did have that also when I was, you know, before carnivore, and I never had any kind of reaction with this kind of meat. But I don't like the brand, so I don't know what happened. Maybe they have different kind of approach now, but I will try this because I know I didn't have any problems with that at some point. Then I did buy the lamb chops because what was her name, Rebecca? I just forgot. In 5 minutes body, there is an interview with her, and she also talked about the system and things, and we do have a similar background with our sickness, and she had the same experience like I did. Everything she was listening to, Dr. Barry and all these people, didn't help her with her symptoms and things and side effects, and she now over a year has, or found over more over a year, and she did stop and go with carnivore 8 times. So now she's committed because, you know, she knows it will help, but she just couldn't figure out what it was. So I will listen a little bit more to her approaches and what she did, because I were completely similar, it seems. So she said lamb chops, and I did bought, I don't know what this is, lamb chop steak. So we're gonna try this. This is very expensive. This is so little meat. I did have them, and they were like amazing. They were tasting so good, and they cost 13 euro in my country. So it's a lot, you know, but if they work, god damn it, I'm gonna buy these things, you know, until I heal. And even if I don't go anywhere anymore in my life, just to buy meat. And this lamb costs 14 euros, so 2 euros more, this big steak. And let's just see, that's about 400, and it's 200, it's almost double. So I'm not sure. I hope this tastes as well good. So what else did she say? She said also she ate salmon. So I did bought 2 salmons as well, because I do tend to eat them, and I never had like major things happening or something like that. I just cannot recall. So I hope this will also be a good alternative. And I did buy beef meat, and there's gusto steak, and it's without genetic feeding. They do live outside, and the young things are coming from, you know, they're coming from the younger beefs and cows. So this is what she said, you have to look for the more younger and not aged meat. So this could be maybe it. I have no clue. We have to experience this in a hard way. Now I have something when I stop breathing again, so I do have some meds for that. So we're gonna experiment and maybe gonna die, but who cares? Yeah. I hope you're kidding. I hope you know I'm kidding, but it is what it is. It's not only carnivore. I had the same reactions on vegan food, on tomatoes and these kind of things. I didn't eat that much of one thing in one sitting on vegan. I did eat, you know, 6-7 times little portions. So if I had some reaction, it immediately showed just a little bit with stomach pain. But now I'm having these big meals 2 times a day, and if I have a reaction, I am not just a little bit, you know, hardcore feeling with breathing or stomach, it's just exploding with the pain. So that's what the problem is for me on carnivore, actually. But that's not what we're gonna stop, and it's not gonna stopping us. So, and one thing I saw, and I didn't know that, so stupid me, I did buy rump steak and I did buy a ribeye. So, who watched my other videos knows that I am just too stupid with the bone part, and I thought there are you just can buy it with the bones, and I was like, that's just, you know, wasting money, and I cannot figure it out how to make it, you know, good. So I didn't know that you can buy it like this, honestly. So I was very surprised, and I hope they're tasting good, and I'm so excited to try it because that's what I'm seeing with you guys always in the videos, and I thought I want to have that, but I cannot find it. So I did find 2 different kind of brands, and we're gonna try it. I had not very good experience with the grocery, even the more expensive stuff. So, and that's 10 euros, and that's also about 10 euros. So both of them are 10 euros, and it's about 300 grams. So, if you eat one a day, you will have 300 euros roundabout to spend. And if you do it like, you know, the Pattersons and these people who are eating 2 of them and that's it, they're not eating anything else, you have 600 euros you spend on yourself actually. So that's of course a lot of money, but we did tend to spend a lot of money on food and shit. So because we don't do like major things. I don't buy, you know, some brand stuff or fancy things. We don't go outside. We don't really go to eat that much. We just don't have any hobbies and these kind of things. We just stay at home and watch Netflix. I know it's so sad. Or just go for walks. So we don't have anything where we spend actually money on it besides food. So, and my son Pokemon. Of course, Pokemon. I have to say that. So if you're a Pokemon fan, so that's what we have now. And I think, you know, this is like, I have to show you. This is worth 80 euros of food. So that's not that much in the end, depending on how much you eat. And I think that you know, it's had to be interesting if I even can eat one whole steak in one sitting now, because I'm still, you know, losing weight and I'm still in the adaptation phase, and you are not that hungry. So we're gonna see, and we're gonna experiment with that. And one thing I also tried is because of the electrolytes, I want to have something that is ready to go on. So I did buy some of these things, and it was very interesting because we don't have Element in these kind of things. And I showed her Element with the unflavored version, and I said, okay, can you somehow mix and match something that is similar to it? And we were standing there over half an hour, me and 2 pharmacists, and they were trying to figure out what is inside, why these things are inside, which has sugar, which don't, and they had no clue. They're working at a pharmacy. In my pharmacy in my country, that is like a safe job description. You can not everybody can just be, you know, work at the pharmacist. It's very hard to get in. But they had actually no clue about electrolytes, and that's what I found very, very interesting. And they were like, yeah, you need it because you have diarrhea, like a real flu. I said, no. I said, I'm doing keto. So that's one thing I can tell you. If you're starting, never, ever tell anybody you're doing carnivore. Never. Tell them you're doing keto. It seems like keto is more appropriate for the society because they know that. And you still can argue a little bit, you know, I'm just trying it out, or it's fun, or I just like the taste more of this. Just tell them bullshit, you know, and just shut the fuck up. Honestly, that's what I learned the hard way. Don't tell and share that you're a carnivore until you have proof to show that you're okay, that you're doing better. But for now, if you think about me, I was telling people that I did carnivore. And what do they now think? Carnivore is so bad. Look at her. She's having troubles to breathe. That's because of the meat. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's particular meat. It's something in particular that I'm taking. And it's not all of it, because I had days where I was great, but I just didn't write it down. So if you start, don't tell anybody. And the second thing is, write down, take your audio device every day. Just tell yourself what you did eat, and how you felt, and just write, you know, the title and write it down. Day 1, I feel good, blah 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 blah, you know. Day 2, write it down in a diary, just put it on your phone in your audio, make a YouTube channel and track every day. Because now I have the chance, because I did that, to go over day by day and see when I felt good what I did eat, if I told myself, you know. And the second thing is, I can see when I didn't feel good what I ate. So because I did document it in a little bit in this kind of way, not every day. So today I did have, in the morning, I was so hungry. I was so unbelievable hungry. And it was because yesterday we had this meat with marinade my mom bought me in the evening. And it was so good, but still there was a little bit of sugar inside of it on the marinade. So that this one little sugar in the marinade triggered my so being hungry in the morning. And I did have eggs, which I'm allergic to, because I wanted to try, stupid me. I still had issues. And then I had some mascarpone, and I did put the butter in my coffee. And these are also major problems that people have. It's egg whites, it's eggs at their holes, at the whole egg. They do have issues with cold drinking, you know, cold water. They do have issues also with all kind of fat that is melted. So if you have like butter in your coffee and it's melting, it can cause these issues. And even, you know, stop breathing. So the combination of the eggs and the butter in my coffee, which I cannot absorb right now and cannot work with it, that was causing all of these things. So these are some things you should look for if you're having any kind of reaction, feeling bad, having diarrhea and these kind of things. Just check everything, check the boxes, okay? Check if you're having this melted fat. Don't use the fat that is left over from your meat when you're cooking it. That can cause you problems. Try to figure out which kind of meat, if it's outside, if it's another, you know, from another butcher, from another grocery. Try a lot of things out, but not at the same time. Try to implement one thing after another to really be able to rule out what is happening. And that's very tough, you know, if you like to mix and match like I do. So that's what I'm struggling, you know, to stick to one thing. For example, today, just to eat, you know, 2 ribeyes or something like that, then I know if it's working or not. But that's tough for me. You have to check how you prepare it. Ghee, butter, oil, whatever you're using for cooking, it can cause problems. You know, the best options are grilling or air frying it without any oil if you have troubles that may be caused by this. People do tend to have too less protein, too less fat, too much protein. So if you have anything, or too much salt, electrolyte is always the best way to start with. Do you have enough electrolytes? Do you have anything your body is needing? So take care of all of these things, and it's not that easy. If you don't have any troubles and don't have issues and just go carnivore, you're going to have the best time of your life, and you're gonna feel amazing like I did in the first 3 days. I started this channel. That's why I started it in the first place. So then you're gonna have the best time of your life. But if you're like me, just a little bit, and you're having troubles in any kind of way, and it's not in the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks where you can have the keto flu and these kind of things, but after this 30-day period, you are starting to have like major issues. Like, you know, I had itching. I had the feeling my body is burning from inside. My nose is clogged. I cannot breathe, and all these kind of things. My ears were just dropping down. So these all kind of symptoms are not because your body is burning old things and blah, 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 and toxins. No, that's what everybody's saying, just to people to keep them going on carnivore. It's just the things that I said before. In the end, to check what is wrong with you, and you have to have a checkbox. You need to write a list of the things that you're eating, and then, you know, just kind of mark it, which one works, which one doesn't work in the end, because that's what I didn't do in the beginning, and that's what I'm starting now to do, to say, okay, I'm feeling better, I'm very hungry, I will have the lamb chops, or, you know, the lamb steak, and I'm gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna wait, you know, for an hour, and then make for myself a little review and say, okay, this one I can eat, or oh my god, I'm having now, you know, some kind of troubles, side effects, or I can eat that, and then I will write the name of the brand and where I got it from and how much it costs, and then I'm gonna, you know this are things to go if I like it. So I hope I can help some of you, because that's really troubleshooting on next level, and a lot of people will quit because they don't have the time and energy to do the fucking research like I did for hours and hours, watching videos, reading comments, reading blog posts, reading doctor sites, going to the doctor, taking my blood test. I'm paying €100 for my damn blood test, and I'm checking everything from vitamin C, B5, these bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I'm checking everything. So I think they're gonna arrive in 2 to 3 days, they said, and then we're gonna check it together, what is happening in my body after, 34 days on carnivore. So that's gonna be interesting, and then compare. But yeah, we're gonna go this, and I'm gonna stick to it, even if I drop dead, honestly, because now I'm so fucking committed and motivated to fix all the problems, because I'm a fixing problem solver person. We don't quit. We sit there until we find the damn fucking mistake. That's how IT works. And there are often mistakes, which is just a little dot that makes a program go shit. So I'm gonna find this little dot, which goes my body to go shit, and I'm gonna fix it. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm committed, and you should be too. And we're gonna get there. I'm gonna fix it. So thank you, and I'm gonna eat. I'm so hungry.